All right, guys, welcome back. Today, it's around noon right now. I got a couple hours I can do some of this stuff. We're gonna do some wiring. We're gonna show you some access to the stuff that I have to do for the to get everything up for the wiring, because this car has no wiring in it. It's all the old 6-volt stuff. It all has to come out. It's a new day. It's a fresh day, fresh shaven, and then I gotta cut it short because I gotta go pick a buddy up from the airport. Let's see what we can accomplish today and follow along. Check it out. Be like, look at this idiot. Starting a new YouTube channel. Peace. All right. So I'm going to use two phones because I'm moving up in the world. So these close-up shots, it probably won't be microphones, so maybe have some background stuff. We'll see how this works as far as, is this gonna win an Emmy or not? Probably not. Camera's over there. Hi. But I got my trusty side cutters, this ignition, that's all gonna stay. Fuel pump here, but look at this. So I got old 6-volt stuff. Like, all this just has to go. The headlight system, because Hudson's had 6-volt positive to ground. So basically all they're talking about is you put the positive to ground and then you put the switch on the negative end, and the theory was it was less current or less arc across the switch. Well, that wasn't the greatest idea, but a lot of cars in the 50s did that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just getting rid of all this garbage because it needs to be 12 volt. These Hudsons these Hudsons need to be driven. They need to be 12 volt now because you need all the modern conveniences like radio, Bluetooth, CarPlay. You need to charge your pocket computer. And I'd like to get this thing going on like a power cruise, get it going, take trips on it. And you need that 12 volts. So that's what we're doing. I got parts. Look at this. So I've got a remote start system. This is Amazon. So check this out. A 54 Hudson with power or unlock, remote start, and if I can figure it out how to do the trunk popper, and it's going to come from this little guy right here. The little brain box. But yeah, the cool Start RX 65-ish. This is Crime Stopper. Yeah. Got a couple plug and plays. We got wires. We got another remote. Nice. And then I got wires, dude, and I got antennas, and then there's like door lock or door switches. And then here's the antennae. But yeah, sing it, Luke. Yeah. I'm down in the old bar stool, beer almost as cold. All right, so here's this whole one-handed stuff's kind of cool. So here's the door poppers we're gonna try to install. It would be nice if a guy could use these keys. But see, here's a key blank that I got from Wild Rick Restoration. It's a repop of the Hudson key. How cool would that to be? So, but it's a key blank, and there's keys there. So I was like, well, what if I just cut it myself? Going with the whole theme of DIY. So yeah, so we're going to try to see if I can cut a key with just some, I got a couple files. Key material is relatively soft. So you and I are going to go on the, we're going to take a journey of how to cut a key. And any locksmiths out there are just going to be like, oh, why? This idiot. Again, look at this idiot. But yeah, so we're going to try to see if we can get the car, start off a key, because that's what cars should do, is start off a key. So yeah, try not to be so shaky. So I'm gonna set up camera, and we're gonna do this, and this is gonna be good. So I'm gonna set up some more lights so you guys can see. I'll set up camera, and then we will go from there, and I'm gonna start cutting out wires because it all has to go. All right, so let's just get into this thing. Like, this is, oh my God, that's brittle. That's bad. Speedometer cable, that goes into the transmission zone, and the speedo thing goes this way. No electronic ignition, or no electronic speedometer in 1954. It was all cable driven. It's either off the transmission, or like Volkswagens would do it off the front spindle. So yeah, I'm just gonna start cutting. I'm just cutting wires. That's it, full send. I got an unknown wire here, so don't care. That's for the, ooh, that's probably for, yeah, that is a cable driven speedo cable. All right, and then, okay, this cable here, it's for the windshield wipers, and you pull on it and it lets the vacuum go, and it's vacuum operated, so there's no electronics. So doing 12 volt, because look, if I do this, it pulls on the old wipers. Cable driven windshield wipers. It's just freaking cool. They don't do this stuff anymore because they're like, why? We have modern conveniences, farmer. You got modern conveniences of like computer relays, and you've got all this other garbage, gobbledygook. But then the cars get super complicated, and then you got to pay somebody a gajillion dollars to troubleshoot your junk that you're paying way too much money for. So now, no, I'm not bagging on any of the manufacturers. Like, it's a business, right? You got to do the things you need to do, but I would rather do it this way. So that's for ignition. That's the old ignition wire. We got this garbage here. That's all gotta go. That's for the solenoid. Oh, and in the old video where I was like, what's that crazy fuel pedal thing hooked to? It was this harness. It's on the foot switch, which I believe disengaged a solenoid, which was the overdrive. So it's like an overdrive switch. So I'm not gonna throw this away. I'm gonna save it and see if I can just replace the wire, because the wiring on 6-volt system is absolutely 100% dangerous if you put 12 volts to it. The insulation breakdown at 12 volts, it causes fires. It is not a pretty picture when you do 6-volt to 12-volt and using the existing wiring. So yeah, we're gonna hold on to this. Wiring, gone. Part, saved. All right, and then got this guy here. We're gonna cut that out. Just cut away, just cut it. Just get it over with. All right, yank. And people are like, oh my God, you could have saved the wiring. I'm like, no, you can't. This is 6-volt, it's garbage. Well, what about all the 6-volt dudes? And they're gonna be like, I don't want that junk. Now this is bad. This needed to happen, y'all, because this was a fire hazard, and I'd hate for my junk to burn down after I put all that time and money into it. Wow, the cloth wiring, cloth insulation. Yeah, that's where you have the insulation breakdown, and it's brittle. There's no way. If I'd have tried to put voltage to this would just burnt to the ground. It'd have been like Nickelback, burn it to the ground. Be like, well, why are you referencing Nickelback? Nickelback is okay. They're all right. They're just overplayed, kind of like the Bee Gees in the 70s. Too many Bee Gees. We'll save that. No, we're not gonna save that either. I'm gonna bump the camera. No, I'm not gonna bump the camera. All right, so coil. So here's from the distributor to the coil. Oh, and we're gonna be upgrading to electronic ignition. Yeah, I said it. Electronic ignition on a 54 Hudson. Petronix, of all places, has one. So reference part numbers, it should work. If not, I'm just gonna look like an idiot, and I don't know what I'm gonna do, but yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. Electronic ignition on a Hudson. Cut more wires. cutting, removing, remodeling. I wonder what Dolly Parton's doing today. Get that out of there. Okay. So, okay, that's all free. Let me get you in here. Yeah, and we have a new wiring kit, which is, let me just hold on a second. Don't move. Don't go nowhere. Look at this. I have a wiring kit. Look at that. Look, it's got blade ATC fuses. I can't remember. Yeah, I believe they're called ATC. I got flasher relays. I got turn signal relays. I got a proper terminal block. They all have fuses. I've got headlight harnesses and plugs and switches and electronics and B-boops. Yeah, whole car wiring. And I think I paid, it's even labeled. It says where to run the stuff. It says fuel pump. I see turn signals. I see brake light deals here. Here's a relay for a fuel pump. It comes with it. Like, but I'm not running a fuel pump or electric fuel pump. If I can get it, the car is going to run off the old G mechanical where it's all, and where I don't have to worry about an electronic fuel pump. I'll just keep a gasket kit with me. Who knows? Whatever. But yeah, whole wiring kit for the car. So we're going to do that. Guys, I've got all kinds of plans for this car. Let me take the battery out, because why would you rewire a car with a battery in it? Makes no sense. Yank! God, this thing's heavy. Must be charged. Okay. The radio static in the building's great, because I got the old Faraday cage going on against my radio frequency. Yeah, I said it. I know technicals. Yeah, look him up, Michael Faraday. Yeah, Wikipedia is a good place. When I do some research, I always look at Wikipedia, which is not the greatest, but it's a good idea to get you started. And then you just validate what Wikipedia was saying. Is it true or not? So let me get let's see, what else do I do here? So always get multiple sources from your facts. And then even though your fact may be not fact, and you may get fact checked by the fact checkers, and the fact checkers say it's partially correct, when actually it's still true, but then they say it's false. So how can it be true and false? I don't know. You tell me. I don't run the internet. All right. Let me get, this has to go. That's all old headlight wiring. I got to do. I'm in the camera shot. That's so unprofessional. And we're gonna some penetrating on that guy to get the old rusty bolts off. And I'll bet you, what size do you think it is? My gut says it's probably 5/16, maybe even 3/8, because that's what I think it should be. You know, I did say mental note, be prepared when it comes to from all your hardware and getting tools, but I'm just an idiot, I guess, who likes to work on cars. Look at that, 3/8. Just like I said it was. 3/8. Yep. And for everybody else out there, that would be what? So 3/8, so 6/16? No, that's quarter. 3/8. I can't do the math right now. I'm tired. It's noon, farmer. Why are you like saying you're tired and you're trying to do fractions? Like, just trying to watch you. Trying to watch a guy work. All right. So now I know that's 3/8. I don't have and on this channel, I'm not gonna hurt your eardrums, like blow them out to where you're bleeding with power tools. I'm not going to use a Power Tool 1 on these videos, because when you're listening to a microphone and through the phone, through the cameras, through the magic of YouTube. That's painful on the ears, guys. Take note. No power tools. It's all gonna be hand tools. So you're like, so there's the excuse, well, I don't have any tools where I can do this stuff. I'm using a combination wrench to take apart a wire harness. Like, how much simpler does it get? These are just common hand tools. Heck, go to Harbor Freight and get you some, guy, and just get out there and get it. Work on your junk. It's not gonna fix itself. And I'd rather fix it myself because then I know if I've done it right. Wire off. And they had a terminal block on here, which was insulated, so they didn't short, but still garbage. This is just, yeah, this has to go. Get off of there. Get off of there. All right. Ooh. PB blaster smells amazing on a Sunday afternoon. Oh yeah, I know some music. I got an eclectic taste in music. I mean, I'm no ABBA connoisseur, but I'll listen to some Dancing Queen, you know. But all right, so that's gonna stay there. That terminal block has to go. Terminal block, that's gonna get yeeted. Yeah, I said yeeted. I know, dude, you're almost 50 years old. Why would you say yeet? Nobody's past 30 says yeet. So, well, this guy does, all right? Fine. I said it. Phillips screwdriver. Phillips screwdriver. Where would I be? Okay, so who knows how long this has been in here? It looks pretty rusted. But like, I'm gonna give it the old one try. Push down. Hear that? Oh, that is, and it's just sheet metal, so it should just come right out or break, one of the two. There it is. It's coming. Phillips screwdriver and a 70-plus-year-old bolt came right out. Looks like the car wants to live, guys. She's like, help me. I was taking a dirt nap, but I want to live. I want to live. You're waking the neighbors. What movie was that? Let me know in the comments what movie that reference was. All right, so that's gonna go over here. I gotta get that wire. Let's come over. Let's come. Hey, stop. Okay, focus over here. I got that guy. I need to take these wires out. I got Phillips. And I got my, excuse my shot. Walk in front of the, don't walk in front of the drop my tools. Walk in front of the camera. All right, so we're gonna cut that guy. Cut that guy. And then let me get the PB. Let me on that. Actually, just use some penetrant. Karaoke night. Yeah. Radio's playing. You probably can't hear it. Listen to local country. America. Interesting fact, is today's country, is it R&B? Or is it hip country? Or country rap? Or R&B? What is, I don't know. It's not terrible. But it's no George Jones or George Strait, the king. Let me know in the comments what you think about today's country music. It's okay. I like it. But why do I have to hear it on the hip hop station too? The same song. Like, Shaboozy's good, but I don't need to hear it 24/7, guys. Like, there should be a break. It's like too much Shaboozy. The Shaboozy. It's too much. All right, we're just gonna throw that on the ground because I'm never gonna use it again. Yank, wires clean. Okay, I don't need that. Look at these. That tastes good. So I got some oil pressure gauges. They're champs because they say so. I got oil pieces, and then I got water temps. What else do you need? You need to know it has oil, and you know it's not overheating. Everything else is just, yeah, too much info. You're definitely not going to see a computer screen in the dash on this car. That's for darn sure. Blinding me going down the road at night, throwing it in reverse. I'm like, I can't see. It's too bright. Manufacturers, please take notice that garbage, it's too bright. Ooh, more wire. Yeet. I said yeet again. I'm sorry. Old man saying yeet. That's just, leave the guy alone, okay? All right, fuel pump. That's probably gonna, we need to get rid of that. So, because we're not gonna use this setup because I got the fuel pump right next to the exhaust. That was smart, I know. So we're gonna take this guy off. And we're gonna take, you know what? I'm gonna leave that back on there. We'll leave the fuel system intact for right now because I still need to. The car runs, I swear. The car runs. All right, so most of this, so the engine bay looks like it's clean. Stop walking in front of the dang camera. All right, so it looks like that mess is gone. We're gonna redo this because that's too short, because that was under the old starter. Now that I got the Mopar that's in there, Alpha 98 Dakota, this has got to go. See, there's a junction box there, and then it comes over here to the battery. Well, then I got my ground. That's a good distance. But check out the battery tray. They didn't like batteries back in the day, apparently, or the 6-volt batteries were huge, and I mean huge. So that guy's got to go. I'm gonna see if we can make a new cable that'll just go from right to the battery. So that's got to go too. I swear. Let me get you back in focus. Focus. All right. Looks like an all 16ths for that one. I know, I said it, all 16ths. There's cable everywhere. All right, maybe I just need to clean up. All right, let me clean up first, and then we'll move this along. But this is all going to be in hopefully 1 day's worth of work. So yeah, dirty hands. Check them out. All right, so we're all set up here. Thank goodness all the mouse droppings are out of here because they smelled amazing. And I'm just, look at all this stuff. This is, all right. Those go to the door switch. May be able to reuse that. Probably not. That's okay. Main harness. We're gonna go. Make sure I'm not cutting anything that I don't need to cut. That is the speedometer cable. Okay. How about we just do this? Some of this junk goes into the dash, which you're like, well, how are you gonna do the dash with? Because all the dash stuff uses 6 volts. Well, that's okay. There's a thing called a buck converter. Converts 12 volts to 6 volts. Just a digital boot box. It's all mystical, magical stuff, but converts 12 volts to 6 volts. And then I can run 12 volts on the 6 volt sending units, all the fuel gauge. So it's gonna be, it should be good. Yeah, giving you a little technical stuff here. The turn signals, it's all cloth wiring. That's got to go. People are probably just cringing, but the goal is I want to try to get into the column. Maybe won't be able to do it in this video, but we'll pull this stuff back, and there's either a termination point or a solder point on the turn signal switch. So I'm thinking a guy can just keep this, the original click, This guy, keep it 12 volts, or 12 volts. Convert it from 6 to 12. It'll be here. And then, yeah, look at all this garbage. So these flashers, there's some 12 volt stuff. And then there's, if you look underneath the radio, get it all up in there. There's some tubes, knob and tube stuff from the radio. I gotta figure out what we're gonna do with that, but that radio is pretty cool. I got something cool for that. So, yeah. So I'm gonna continue cutting some of this junk out and just give her the old yank, and then just keep it all real, because you're getting this farmer raw dog style. Just, I hate saying that word, but getting the old raw dog. All right, that goes there. Just push that out, pulled that through. Hey, now I got a hole, and I got room for activities. Well, that's a good sign. And then I got, well, that's the cables. All right, cable for the wipers. That goes. Turn signal flasher. Get rid of that wiring. And get my flat blade screw, or my Phillips screwdriver. And that's gonna go. All it's just gonna go away. And again, I'm not gonna give you power tool noises, because that's just annoying. I'm not gonna do that to you. I may have cut my finger. That's okay. I need a medic. Yeah, because hopefully when we get all the old junk out, it'll be a whole lot easier to put the new stuff in. And some guys walking by right now, some old boys watching this video, and they're like, "What you watching?" I'm watching a guy work. And they're gonna be like, "You're doing what?" "Yeah, I'm watching rewire a 54 Hudson Hornet." "What the heck's a Hudson Hornet?" "Well, you know that Doc Hudson guy from the movie Cars, circa 2006, made Hudson's cool again." Well, they were always cool. All right, so that main harness is out. I think that's a dome light, or excuse me, glove box light. There's a heater wire feed that goes away from the controller. Yeah, so good stuff. Making progress. So I got to figure out how to pull the dash component off, and then we'll do that buck converter conversion. But it's getting good. I hope you guys are just like, I don't understand. Why are you doing this, farmer? Because it seems like a lot of work. Well, again, sometimes you just got to get after it and just do it, because no one else is going to. This car probably should have been in the crusher or recycled, and it's got decent bones. Like, no, a more sane guy would have just moved on and said, "Nope, I ain't taking it on." But this idiot said, "I can do something with this, so by gosh, I'm gonna do it." Because it said I was gonna do it. So, we'll speed this along. Enjoy. Okay. Got most of that cleaned out. And I'm making a mess. Just a couple of wires. Nothing terrible. Alright, so I got this wire harness. Get you in focus. Focus. So I'm like, ow! These freaking tie wraps. Now I'm yelling because I got the microphone. Like, you know, there's something that's been bothering me. People all over the world, electricians, mechanics. Okay. So, you see this right here? See this tie wrap? Okay, look. You take this, pull your head down, go through the mouth, cinch it up good. Then people are like, "Oh yeah, take a razor and this and that." Like, help a guy out. And look, just do this. Roll the edge. Done. And there's no edge. You don't deal with these razor sharp things that cut the yeah. I'm like, apparently this guy is evil. Evil, sadistic SOB, because somebody cut that. and just screw the next guy. Don't screw the next guy. Cut your junk the right way. Look, all you had to do was just roll the edge and then done. That's it. We're not hurting people, guys. Quit hurting people. It's junk. All right. So we're going to take this guy. So I'm looking at, this says, let me get a better light. We're probably like, what the heck, farmer? This is, all right. Is that better? All right. So we're going to say dome light. So this is interior. So we're going to unwrap that guy. Custom razor bladed tool. And we're going to go that. So that's going to go, this is all inside harness. Because it says dome light. It says fuel gauge. It says turn signals. So this will be the inside harness. So we'll move that one. This looks like headlights because that looks like headlight plugs. But if you read it and you go, well, no, let's make sure it's the right junk. This is coil switch. So my gut says this is also internal from off of the old key. Because I see power hot, I see a purple, and we got, old eyes are getting, I got ignition coil, power feed, right front signal. Okay, so this will run out towards the car. So that'll go through so that will probably go through the firewall. Well, then I got this guy. And then this one says door lock power. See where I'm going with this. So, and then this guy. So that's interior. Well, this one should go. This one says, you're like, well, shouldn't you be following directions? Well, the wires tell you where to go. Well, you need directions. They're already termed. Why do I need to go and that dang thing just got me again? Freaking I hate people who leave this. Oh, I hate you so much. Garbage. All right. And then this says something exciter. Alternator exciter. So this guy is going to go through the firewall. So we'll just feed that right now. I'll take this tape off because I'd rather somebody just tape the darn thing than put a stitch of tie wraps on here, because people cut tie wraps and leave them for the next guy to cut the, yeah. So we're going to unspool that. There it is. I was looking for that. So I'll just do this. Whoop. And not cut the insulation. Just slight pressure, guys. Nothing crazy. Take that off. That goes there. I'm dirtying up my bench, which I hate doing. I hate clutter, but maybe I should start a channel on just an organization and cleanup. Would you guys watch a guy sweeping up his shop and sweeping off his bench and keeping it clean and say, hey, this is how I organize things? Yes, no? Leave it in the comments. We'll figure this out. Because I'm just trying to give you guys some good quality content, but this is real. Because you're getting the farmer just raw dog, right? This is me. There's no production staff. There's no key grip. It's just a guy working on his car who just happened to buy a microphone and throw this junk up on YouTube to say, look at this idiot. And this is how I do things. So yeah. So we're going to feed this guy through the firewall. Why? Because this wire says, these wires say, it says exciter, so for voltage. So this is our circuit that we need to feed through right here. So we'll get you set up, and then yeah, I'm gonna feed this guy through. So bear with me. All right, so I'm about ready to push this junk through. We're gonna get this sucker 12 volts come heck or high water. I'm tired of this. You know, a guy has to get lights and. All right, so we're gonna take this wire that we ohmed out and strategically determined that it's going to be the one that we need because it said so. I'll start feeding wires through. So that's going to go through. And there is a grommet here already, so start feeding that guy through. And we're going to take that wire and push that through as well. That wire. That wire. We're going to take this wire and this wire and this wire too. And because these guys are banking on that, you're going to have plenty to work with. This harness, it wasn't all that much. It's not like it was, you know, hundreds of bucks. It was, I think I paid, I'll have to look, maybe $300. I'll try to put links in here of all the stuff that I've used over the weeks and days of buying parts and stuff. So in case you decide to, you know, I'm gonna get me one of them Hudson cars and do that conversion too, guys, this really isn't all that big of a deal. Yeah, it's just time, but it could be time you could be sitting on your keister watching football of the National Felons League. And although I am an Arizona Cardinals fan, so I'm just kidding. National Felons League. No, there's some good dudes out there. I think they're just misunderstood. I think they got the head injuries figured out from concussions, and they got the new safety parameters, which making the sport, I think, better. But then also, we're not as the games just aren't as good anymore because back in the old days of Ronnie Lott and Mike Singletary and guys that just crushed people. But those days are gone because now you got guys that can spend 20 years in the league as a quarterback and throw up ridiculous numbers now because of safety. So I guess that's a good thing. So yeah, all right, we'll get that fed through, and then get this last guy through here. And if I offend people, it's not my intention. I speak what's on my mind, and you know, guys just doing it. You know, I think what I'm saying, so I say what's on my mind. So I apologize if something comes off not what it should be, or PC. Let's put it that way. Politically correct. You know, the HR department has said that your diversity and inclusion policies are less than adequate. I'm just trying to get stuff done, bud. I just need to shut up and throw this away. It looks like a rat's nest in here. Push this guy through. You know, maybe I shouldn't take that tape off. No, it's fine. Just figure it out. We got another wire. We'll poke that through. And then we're gonna... Wouldn't it be kind of cool if I could make some terminations for the video and then maybe get that key cut? That'd be kind of neat. But let's get all this fed through. It's kind of a pain in the butt, all right? So just give a guy a minute, all right? I think I have way too many wires coming through. Because all you need is wire for trigger, a switch 12 volt to the coil, something to the starter to say, hey, I need power going to the starter, with a hot battery lead going to the starter. And then you got an ignition system. Because all the car needs is 12 volts to the coil for the ignition. And then a simple charging system from the alternator to the starter. All right, so you get some voltage reference for the alternator to work. But we got some, look at all that, man. They're generous. Very, very generous with this kit. And I like the fact that it's all labeled, so it's kind of idiot proof, even for this idiot. All right. So we'll finish feeding that through, because that guy says this. Let's get some more light. Is that light too bright? Let me know. Yeah. Coil, positive, alternator, exciter, AC compressor. What? No. The AC is right here. That's the air conditioner. No. Future. You want your harness to be able to handle upgrades. So you pay for get the expensive one. Just pay the money. Get the 21 circuit. Don't go chintzy on the 12 or 13 circuit. I popped for it. I'm not flexing, but gosh. You got to think ahead when it comes to this stuff. Choke power choke. We're going to put a power choke on that. And look, it even has it. So, yeah, we're going to put electric choke on this sucker. This car is going to be like all of 1984. Bring it up to at least 30 more years. Temp sensor. Like, it's got everything. Man, that tie wrap really got me. Again with the tie wraps, guys. That just irks me something fierce. All right. So we got that guy. So we'll take that through there. The guy that walked by in the video, you still watching that guy work? Yep, I'm on my lunch. That's kind of what I'm hoping to do with this content, is just like get it long enough for maybe a lunch break or 2 lunch breaks, day 1, day 2, where a guy can continue on. Because most lunches are an honest half hour. The more I think about it, the hour-long content is probably not bad. But John's 30 minutes, maybe we'll see. But at this rate, I think I'm gonna go. Gosh, it'll probably be a year before I get everything done. So we're gonna may have to do some editing the more I think about it. Man, that cut hurts. That tie wrap got me. All right, we'll do that. All right, that wasn't too difficult. So got our main harness, ran through where the grommet. They gave you a little extra, which isn't terrible. All right. Harness is through. And that's the engine harness. And I'm going to get some insulating stuff, so transmission. Oh, and floor shifter it's en route. It got delayed because of all the snowstorms back east. But that is going to be cool. We're thinking it's going to fit. And then now we'll continue on with our wiring. So thinking we're going to put this guy like somewhere like right in there, because there's plenty of room. It's almost like they thought of this ahead. No, probably not. It's just got lucky. Here's the ignition. All these plugs will work with like a certain style of like aftermarket engine harness. Well, we're not going to use that. We're going to go off the original key here. So then I gotta, let's see, key there. It's back in there somewhere. There's still a couple more, a little bit of wiring that I need to pull out. Remember when I was yeeting that cable? See, it's straightened out. It's all fine. Yeah, we're slowly moving along. This is most likely the rest of, so like dome light, brake lights, turn signals, left, right, all that garbage, ignition. But the main harness going through, so that's good in there. Hopefully we can get a couple more things done before I got to bolt, go pick up my buddy from the airport. Yeah, so half of this a lot of this red stuff will go down to the alternator. Some will go to the ignition. all this purple and green and all these other wires. Don't worry, they're all labeled. Like they are literally say where they're supposed to go. Like alternator feed. Like there's, it's not, it looks more intimidating than what it actually is. If you've never wired a car, I highly recommend at least trying it. Now, you're like, oh my God, wiring, that's just a, no, it just goes, wire goes from point A to point B. That's it. That's all it does. Carries current and voltage to whatever apparatus based off a switched, from a switch source. Hopefully it's fuse protected or some sort of relay breaker protection or something. So yeah, this is a milestone, getting old wiring out, new wiring in. Hopefully we can, I'm going to put you up on the tripod and then we'll do kind of like a time lapse, maybe just sped up, wiring up the ignition system only, and maybe try to get to the ignition stick or the ignition tumbler. And we've got the old keys, so we can get the keys to work, because this key will actually work the ignition. So we're like, it's not too far off, because if I just get the ignition where it works, if I could, do this not one-handed, yeah, I got that guy. So, right. So once I get that termination point done on the tumbler, because you just need a power feed from the battery, hopefully fused, going from the normally open contact, and when you turn the key, engages a contact, which then sends power to the ignition system, and a start signal on the momentary off the ignition, which then engages the starter while you're and then as it kicks with the constant power from the ignition switch to the coil, we'll then send ignition. As long as you got fuel and compression, you'll go, and hopefully this sucker will just light right off. I know it runs. We've seen some shorts. The engine cranks. We know the engine's good now because thank goodness, the transmission was locked, and then we figured out that the engine wasn't locked up from all the moving around with just the starter, which is that's dumb. But I got it in here because I'm just one guy. But yeah, we will move this along. We'll get you set up on camera, like I said before, and then we'll just move this along. Not bore you with just pulling wire and da-da-da-da-da. So stand by. So if you look at this guy, it's a screw holder. It's a wedge, and it's wedging the Phillips where you can hold it. And then it keeps you from falling. Great little tools. All right, so the instructions with the kit, I'm not gonna do it without instructions, come on. I'm not that silly. So if a guy had his choice, because you go GM diagram, Ford diagram, Mopar diagram, I got options. So I'm like looking at the rest of this wiring. Because, you know, because a guy can, because I'm sitting here. Can you see any of this? There we go, let's do that. Get that out of the way. I'm sure the light's probably a little better now. Cut that tire out because that one's dangerous. Yeah, I'll show you how to and how I cut my tire wraps. That quick little one, how I did was just a little tidbit of the farmer knowledge. So we got a couple of, so this is for a GM column. There's no GM column here. You can tell because it isn't. This is all Hudson. This will be a separate ignition, but all ignitions are, my Made in China light battery just died. Good thing my Harbor Freight's still kicking. I gotta validate where all these, of how the GM wire goes, and go to the Hudson ignition switch. And then, cause you got ground, hot, coil, accessory, and then a couple of things here. But really, if I find the right jumping spot, I think a guy can just get it to crank from here just with like a little jumper, which would be kind of cool because purple, pink, and power. So if I go red hot to purple ignition, if I hook up the battery, if I just put a jumper from here to here, and if I hooked it up right, and if the fuse is good, I think the engine's gonna crank. So let's just see. Bear with me. Let me hook up this whole battery here. Make sure. There's that. We got ground. Cool. Let me get my custom jumper. Give me this jumper. Because so the car's still in neutral from our last video. So here's my jumper. Is it gonna work if I just give her so I got red from the battery, purple going to that starter relay, and look at there. Well, that's kind of cool, huh? So yeah, so if I obviously disconnect the power, put these two up on the ignition stick on the OE Hudson ignition switch, should all work. So then now, if a guy did, because this is ignition switch coil. So if I just do hot to this guy, put a little gas down the app, I think I can just get it to crank from right here. So what if I put a little gas down? We did it right. So put a little gas down the app. All right, that's way too much. Perfect. So if I just did jumper on the back side, I'm gonna go hot to pink on that guy, and then if I just do hot to purple, ignition 101, baby. And it's all from the new harness. So that's how you do basic wiring with an ignition system, or excuse me, with a wire harness that was never meant to be in a 54 Hudson Hornet. But knowing a little bit of how some of the GM stuff works, and Ford and Mopar and all that other garbage, I just X out of these connectors, right? Wire them up to the new ignition switch, but with just a simple hour of working, quick hot battery cable, simple ignition, that Hudson just lit off like it was parked yesterday. And you may not have heard it because of the microphone, but I could tell it was running because I can see the exposed clutch, because I got all that stuff going. I can see it just sit there idling away. And it smells really bad because that gas in there was probably about a year old that I just shoved in there. But it was premix. So another note that I learned from that guy at Vice Grip Garage, if you're gonna be cranking on a car that may or may not have sat for eons, put a little premix in the fuel, dump it down the app, so if you're cranking on it, the oil kind of lubes the cylinders so you don't wash everything dry or wash it out. And I smell two-stroke right now. Yeah, so it lit off, a couple of minutes of wiring, and I'm gonna get cleaned up here, and I gotta go take my boy to baseball practice because that's what dads do. And then I gotta pick up a buddy from the airport, and I may continue on to the night, but for right now, I'll be back in a few. So just give me a minute, and we'll figure this out together. This thing's gonna be cool. It's all new 12-volt wiring. So that was a success. Good job. Say attaboy, farmer. All right. All right. So we're back. All right. Ate some dinner. Did a couple things. Did some baseball practice with the boy, and picked my buddy from the airport. And we're back. It's a little late at night now. It's probably about 9 o'clock. Yeah, so we're looking. So where we left off, got some of the wiring here. Just got to figure out, train some of this stuff out. High, low beam, park lights is all from the main harness, or from the engine harness bay. We're gonna go through spots here, take it underneath, and go to the passenger headlight. And then we got the driver headlight bezel. We're there as well. We'll probably bring the lights through. And we saw that it started, and it was very minimal wiring. Just, you had the coil, and then we had battery, switched ignition, and we lit it off, and it idled, sat there like it was parked tomorrow. So simple wiring. It's just you with these 21 circuit harnesses and stuff. It's just you one wire at a time, and then before you know it, you're done. And that's kind of where I plan on heading with this. So I'm gonna get some cleaned up here. Really, that's kind of what I had in mind for today. So not to get it completely all into it, I just didn't get a chance to do the key thing. We're gonna get the key cut. I know I'm gonna do it. I just gotta find it now. I don't know what the heck I did with it now. Did I hang it back up? No, I did not. So the keys are, they're still in the ignition. So yeah, keys are still there. I gotta get the dash torn apart. Maybe I'll put that in a YouTube short, or maybe that'll be episode 5. We'll call this episode 4. And gosh, guys, she's coming along very slowly, like I said. But again, just an idiot and his car and a microphone, showing that if you just put your mind to it, you can do anything that you want. You can move mountains just by yourself, one shovel at a time. And on that note, I'm gonna get cleaned up here. We're gonna clean up this mess. Feedback was, don't do this. Just nice and easy, farmer. And yeah, so on that note, if you guys could give me a like, follow, and subscribe, Hulk smash that like button, and gosh, we're gonna call it for tonight. And enjoy happy MLK Day to Mr. Dr. Martin Luther King and all his travels and all the things that he accomplished. And unfortunately, he's not with us because for other differences, but changed history. And it's amazing what one person can do is if you have a dream. So on that note, peace. And we'll talk to you guys on the flip side. Farmer out.